The role of the system designer is absolutely key in the delivery of personal fall protection systems. This system designer role, it's a relatively new role. It was devised and first came about through BS 7883, which was published in 2019. It hasn't really been adopted as well as it needs to be by the industry yet, and the industry really does need to get on board with the use of the system designer role. For every project, there must be a system designer in place. At any stage, we must know who that system designer is, and they must be competent. So the first question is, who is the system designer? And the second question is, are they competent? And they form part of a chain of competencies that we need to be in place for safe projects to be delivered. Now, we don't have any qualifications yet for system designers. We need smart people, we need educated people, we need people who fundamentally know what they know, but also they know what they don't know. So that's really important. And for me, that's what BS 8681 is all about. It's intended to establish a framework so that we can get competent people in place to deliver these projects. The system designer has got an overall responsibility for ensuring that we provide solutions for personal fall protection systems which are safe, which are compliant, and which are fit for purpose. So all of the systems that we provide, the personal fall protection systems, they need to be designed in a way that they can be constructed safely, used safely, rescued from safely, and examined safely. So these are all responsibilities that the system designer needs to make sure has been covered off in the design of the system. And to do this well, the system designer, their fundamental challenge is to break down this traditional silo thinking that we have in the industry. We need to have a single controlling mind looking after the development of the solution, and that person needs to be the system designer. The role can switch from one person to another as a project progresses, and so different people will be termed the system designer at different stages, possibly. They need to be appropriately competent, and their scope of knowledge needs to be appropriate as well, and so that competency and that understanding will vary from one person to the next. Very importantly, every system designer has to accept all of the work that's been done by any previous system designers on the project. They need to accept that as being appropriate, or they need to change the things that they aren't happy with. What we can't do is just allow the project to continue with things that we as system designers are not happy with. And anybody who makes any changes to the design of the project will take on the responsibility of being a system designer, and they will need to meet the competency requirements that are needed to do that. The final thing I was going to say about system designers is that, perhaps unusually for the industry, the installers should no longer hand projects over to clients, to duty holders. The installer must always hand over the installation work to the system designer. The system designer should then review it, and they will then hand it over to the client when they are happy.